In this video I'm going to show you a drill that teaches you precise cue ball control, and I'm using my GoPro again. This drill will teach you a lot about the cue ball because you really need to move the cue ball precisely on a certain line. Your goal is to make one solid of this side, then of the other side, and you have to go back and forth, and you aren't allowed to touch any other ball with the cue ball. After you made every solid, you can play the last remaining balls in a random order. This is the easiest version. If you want to make it more challenging, you can also play the solids in order from 1 to 6. And if you want to make it even tougher, you can add an extra ball and set the stripes up like this. And by the way, I'm using a web application I made by my own that is free to use for you. The cool thing is, after you set everything up, you can hit that save button at the top right and it will generate a link that you can share with your friends or teammates, and it will never expire. Okay, I would say let's start, and of course I'm showing you my attempt on the most difficult level. Of course we're starting with ball in hand, and I want that angle on the two ball that brings the cue ball towards this side, towards the balls. So the first thing I'm checking is the tangent line of the one ball. And if I'm looking at the tangent line, I see that the cue ball will probably go towards here, and then probably hit the 11 ball. So all we have to do is add a tiny bit of right hand English, maybe one tip or a half tip that opens the angle towards this side, and we will have a shot on the two ball. Okay, let's look at the angle of the two ball. We're not straight, which is nice. We're having an angle. We have to go forwards, and now we choose our gap. We could basically go, I would say, through this gap, which is a little difficult. This is the easiest, the most natural. This is also possible. This again would be too difficult because the natural roll, if I'm following the ball, is pretty much through here, maybe through here, and maybe through here. Depends on the English duet. So this is the best gap, and also not because it's the most natural, but because once we're here, up until here, we have a shot on the free ball. So let's look at the angle again. Of course, it depends where exactly I'm aiming the two ball towards the center. A little too full, a little too thick. I can always cheat the pocket to create an angle. But I think here I'm going for center pocket, follow with a right hand English that brings me towards here. Without the right hand English, we would go towards here. And with even more right hand English, we would go towards here. Okay, it turned out pretty nice. We again have a shot on the free ball. Here again would be perfect because this would basically then be the same shot that we had on the one ball. But here, again, we have to follow the cue ball, and I would say, this gap is not perfect. Either this gap or this gap. The most natural would be this or this. It again depends on the English we add. So a little more English would mean that the cue ball would go through here, or more English even through here. Without English I can go through here, but I think this is the best gap I can go through. So all I have to do is follow the ball. Again, I can cheat the pocket, but I'm playing for center, and maybe at left hand English so that I hit this rail and go towards the four ball again. Turned out pretty nice again. And let's see Well, we're not straight, which is nice, but again, I'm having that angle where I just have to follow. I would love to be here, but I just couldn't get here so far, so that's why I'm always have to go forwards. So let's look at the angle. I'm also hampered by the 9-ball. Yeah, again, I have to go forwards, and yeah, this gap is possible, but you see, if I'm changing a little bit towards here or here, I will already hit those balls. If I'm going through this gap, you see I'm having way more space. But the problem with this gap is it will take some time until we're here, until we have a shot on the 5-ball. So regarding a position on the 5-ball, I think it would be the best choice to go through here, because from here on, we will have a long time a shot on the 5-ball. So let's see if I can pull this off. I'm following the ball, and I need left-hand English, because that left-hand English will from here bring us more towards this part of the long rail. Without the English, we will hit more here. That means we're going through here, but the left-hand English will bring us towards here, and then hopefully through this gap. Okay, a little too less left-hand English, so let's set this up again, this shot. And when playing drills like this, or drills in general, if you mess up, like I did here, don't set the whole drill up again, set the shot up again, because obviously you had a problem with this shot and not with the whole drill. So that's why it's important to set shot ups again, and it's difficult to pronounce. Set shut ups again, and to continue from where you messed up. So it was, yeah, basically like this. So I'm trying to do it again with more English this time. Yeah, and you see, I added more English this time, and we got a very nice position. So let's continue from here. One last shot to get on the 6-ball, then we're basically through. But yeah, this is the most difficult shot, where we have to go from the center, from the middle balls to the next middle ball. So let's see, I probably have to follow. Cue ball will go somewhere towards here. So yeah, if we're going through this gap, it will take quite a while, so I think it's better to go through this gap here. So let's see at the angle. I have to follow with right-hand English, because if I just follow, I can only bring it to here, so that right-hand English helps me to not bounce here into the rail, but here, and therefore I can go through this gap here. Almost set this up again. As you see this time, I am not showing you a run where yeah, I'm executing it in the first time, because this is maybe more helpful to actually see where I struggle with and how I have to adjust. Because yeah, that's how you basically train. Yeah, you make mistakes and you have to adjust and correct those mistakes. But nevertheless, it's a tough shot, so this can happen. So I think we got the angle pretty well. Yeah, looks nice. So let's see if we can go through here. So I added a little too much right-hand English the last time, so a little less, and I can go towards here. Perfect. Yeah, perfect angle. So 6 balls should be safe, and then if you want to, you can play the remaining balls in a random order. Yeah, very nice. So let's see if I can clear those last remaining balls. So I would say a stop shot brings us perfect to the 9 ball. I'm just going a little over to play the 11 ball afterwards, so I need to be, better to be a little further on the side so that I definitely see the 12 ball. Yeah, just rolling that one in. Cheated the pocket. Yeah, you have to be confident with rolling balls in like that. You have to trust in the table. I could certainly have gone this path as well, but yeah, why not just roll it in sometimes? This was the drill. You see, I messed up 2 times, but I'm not here to show my skills, but to show you how you can improve your game, how you can improve in general. So let me know what you think of this drill. Try it yourself. Let me know how you did, and thanks for watching. Okay, let's end this video with another video where I'm responding to your comments from my latest video. So my latest video was how to aim with side spin, which by the way got over 100,000 views within just 5 days. That's amazing, never happened before, so thanks for watching, thanks for your comments. Well, I'm not answering a specific comment this time, I'm answering a couple of more because yeah, you really had a lot of questions. So the first big question was, do you use backhand English or fronthand English, sorry, I always confuse that, backhand or fronthand English? Well, to be honest, when I developed my aiming with side spin, I didn't even know the terms, what was backhand English and what is fronthand English. Now that I know the difference, I can say I'm using most of the time fronthand English, sorry. But sometimes, you probably noticed in this video, I'm doing a slight move with my back arm, so I'm using a tiny bit of backhand English, so I combine those two. And I know it's a bad habit, and especially you cannot see every time where exactly I'm aiming. That's why I'm putting the cue ball with the dot in the top corner of the video so you can see what I'm actually doing with the cue ball. Well, so I'm using a mixture. What should you do? What is my advice for you guys who are struggling? Well, first of all, do what fits you the best and what gives you the best outcome, what feels just right and most natural for you. There is a general rule that means on short distance shot where you hit really hard, you could or should use backhand English, and on longer shots where you hit with a softer speed, you could or should use fronthand English, and in between you could use a mixture of both. But I don't like to stick to all that stuff that you have to do it exactly that way. So as I said, do what feels right and what gives you the best results. Another question was if there are any drills or mental things that you can do to keep all that stuff in mind from the video about deflection, about swerve, about spin-induced throw, cut-induced throw and all that stuff. Well, what I didn't do a certain drill, but what I did is I set up a certain shot with an angle, and what I did, I played this shot over and over again with different amount of spin, left or right spin, also combined with high or low, different speed and also different distances. And what I did was, I tried to have a certain expectation what would happen before. Then I played the shot and I compared with what happened actually. So I could compare my expectation with what would really happen. And if you do that long enough and often enough and repeat it over and over again, your brain will finally get the right information and also your muscle memory. So it's just a natural learning process. So It's good to know all that stuff that I taught you and that I teach you in my videos about how the cue ball behaves, about the technique and stuff like that. But to be honest, pool is such a difficult game. There are so many factors. Yeah, staying down on the shot, following through, the speed changes, the cue ball path, then there's swerve, the cue elevation, mental game, you know, it explodes your minds. Yeah, it's just too much. So it's good to know all that stuff, what's behind and what's the reason that you miss and stuff like that. But when you're playing a shot, for example in a tournament or just in matches, and you have to calculate before each single shot, it's just so exhausting and it won't give you good results. Imagine you're playing a tournament that goes over a whole day and you have to do calculations before each single shot. Yeah, it's a mess. It's just a mess. So try to develop your natural ability in making balls, in aiming and kicking, banking. Yeah, it's nice to have all those little gadgets that help you, all that knowledge. But I, for example, I never used an aiming system. I get asked so often, what aiming system do you use? Well, I didn't use one, since I'm playing pool. Also the same with kicking and banking, never used a system. So it's just natural, it's just a natural process, and my summary would be, don't try to calculate everything, trust in your natural ability, in your muscle memory, and most important, just enjoy the game. So yeah, I hope I could help you with this answer to my latest video. And if you like this video with the drill and now this part, consider to leave a thumbs up, comment on this video, let me know, are you more of a natural player like me, or do you like to calculate everything through, and did you switch maybe? Just let me know in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks to my sponsors and patrons. If you want to see more of these lessons, consider to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you at the next lesson. Take care.